And welcome back to Stories from the River, the Bo Pennebaker episode. Sit back, relax, let's get going.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
All right, I'm here with Bo Pennebaker, Executive Vice President from Ashley Global Retail. Bo's made an appearance, his first ever visit to the mill. Bo, welcome.
Glad to be here. Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, welcome to the pod. Now, Bo, you and I go back a long way. I'm trying to think about how long has it been? 2 decades, maybe?
I think that's a good start. Yeah. I mean, it's if we're just rounding. Yeah, 2 decades. I like it.
One thing that you and I both like to do is, so you're from Mississippi. I'm from Mississippi. We like to laugh.
We do.
Like to cut up with each other.
We do.
And we like to eat.
We do. Yeah.
I think we're going to get to do all that today.
Yeah. And, you know, when I think of you and our history, I feel like we've always had this great rapport of, giving some shots and taking some shots, and all of it in just a fun banter and mutual respect and love of just really life. Yeah, which is so good.
I've always enjoyed hanging out with you and my time with you, and we've been working a lot more closely than ever here in the last year or so. So we'll dig into that. First of all, welcome to Fort Mill, South Carolina, aka the Mill.
Yes.
Welcome to the River, aka Broad River Retail. This is a brand new broadcast studio. People call it the podcast studio, but it's really, we'll record like maybe town hall messages or anniversary messages. Congrats on 10 years or whatever from this room. And
I will say I love how you guys have embraced the podcast platform, but even as you kind of were quick to correct or self-correct the broadcast platform, I think it's such an effective way to, as your business has continued to grow, your census has grown, your people have grown, it's such an important piece of our business, staying connected with, the blood life, the stories, like the things that matter. So I applaud how you guys are using this collective platform.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, it began as a little seedling passion project because I love podcasts. We called it Stories from the River because we think we've got some cool stories to tell around here. Tyler kind of pitched a new vision. He's our senior communications manager of hey, Charlie, we're on this new 2030 vision, this plan. Why don't we do kind of behind the scenes, like charting our path, our journey for the next 6 years, till 2030 in our plan, the good, bad, the ugly. Let's call balls and strikes. And I said, that sounds great. Let's do it. And so they're taking it in a lot of different ways in terms of multimedia or because you got to tell your stories through not just like Apple Podcasts or Spotify or YouTube, but like now Instagram Reels or TikTok or LinkedIn. And so however folks engage. But I want to get to know you a little bit better.
All right.
So you started as a licensee with Ashley Furniture Home Stores with you and your brother, maybe out of Meridian.
So I'll give you just a little quick rundown.
Yeah, please.
So born and raised in Mississippi, grew up in Meridian, went to the University of Mississippi, affectionately known as Ole Miss. Know it's near and dear to your heart, and so upon graduating, went into the furniture industry, and so went to work for another manufacturer based out of Northeast Mississippi, part of Furniture Brands International, and so I did that for about 8 years.
In what capacity?
So I was a manufacturer's rep. What we refer to them in our scope as marketing specialist, and so really I sold furniture to furniture stores, and it was a really great opportunity for me to learn the business. And so I moved to California. So I graduated in May, started with Lane in June, and got married in July, and then to a girl from Okolona, Mississippi. And we moved to California in September.
So you dated in college?
Yeah, we dated in college. We met in college and dated in college, and I put a ring on it. And we went to California, which was great.
What part of California?
So we lived in a little town called Modesto. And so if you were to take a Mississippi boy and girl, if you will, and move them to California, I don't know that there's a better place because the Central Valley is really the breadbasket for the country. There's so much, it's so ag-based. Almond farms, which they refer to them as almonds, but there's almond orchards everywhere. Just south of Modesto's Turlock, like dairy farms everywhere. So it's, I think when you think of California, think the Sierras, you think of San Francisco, you think of San Diego and LA, and yes, but like the heart, the middle part of it's almost like a different state.
Yeah.
And so it was a really nice place for us to go. It was nice for our marriage and kind of a leave and cleave, and for us to go out and blaze our own trail and kind of grow together as I would say as a couple, as a family, but at that point in time it was just Catherine and I. And so did that for almost 6 years in California, and then moved to Greater New Orleans and kind of covered South Louisiana and South Mississippi. And at about that time, I kind of realized, hey, I love this business. I had some success, enjoyed it, but I think I was not fulfilled. I was like, can I do this for 40 years? Sure. Am I going to be fulfilled? No, because every day I'd get up, some mornings, 5 a.m. I'm pulling out. We're going to drive all the way to Bakersfield, California. I'm going to meet with a couple of dealers and, get home at 10 p.m. And, next day maybe it's an office day, or anyway, that was the kind of the cadence. And so my community, like I left home base every day. And I just how I was raised and my worldview outlook, like I want to have roots and connect with people. It's kind of what I'm about. And so as I just went out, I felt like I was missing something. I had great community through our church and friends and that network, but I was always gone, and so and the work was great, but again, I would just say it left me a little bit lacking in fulfillment in impacting people. And so in that, I went and met with all kind of top 100 retailers, and you could see, well, this one does a great job on their inventory management or their inventory control. This guy's a great promoter, like his marketing, his advertising, this guy's customer service. Like, I mean, he just is just relentless about it. Like, just, we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it today before the sun goes down. Some had great locations and big boxes and presence. And so through that, I thought, this has been just such a continued education of who does what well. And what if I were to take all these pieces and start my own business? And so in that, there was a lot of consolidation in the business. Ashley had recently launched their home store, their proprietary store product. And there were a lot of manufacturers that were doing that. Lane had done it. Broyhill had popped up some stores. Bassett, Lazy Boy, et cetera. And so, and when I looked, it was clearly pretty easy to see who had a vision and a commitment and was taking market share at the time. And I was like, those are the guys I want to do that with. And so anyway, after about 8.5 years on the road, I can remember to this day the table at Outback in Tupelo, Mississippi during Tupelo Furniture Market, sitting at a table and with Chuck Spang, if you remember Chuck. And I was really, really young at the time, and said, man, I want to develop all of Mississippi for you. And he's like, hey, slow down, young man, which is really wise on his part. And so I was like, all right, well, I'll take this. He's like, how about we start in Hattiesburg, Mississippi? And so at that time I had one child. I moved to Hattiesburg. We opened up a store. So in 2005, I became an official licensee, and I've been in retail ever since. And so ran our stores for about 15 years, we'll call it. Sold to one of the larger licensees in the country that I'd had a lot of history with, a lot of relationship with, and I think thought and viewed how we do retail very, very similar to. And so sold controlling interest to those guys. If I need to stop, please stop me.
Well,
I'm just kind of.
This is great. I'm gonna get some through lines here.
Yeah.
Your brother came. You guys started it together, right?
Yeah, we
Adam?
did. Yep.
Okay, and he's your younger or older brother?
So Adam's 3 years younger than I am.
And was he in the furniture business?
Yeah. So Adam graduated, was a manufacturer's rep for Lane in Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
So I was on the West Coast. I think a little bit of a nod. Let's bring Bo some family out here. And so Adam was about 6 hours north of me. He was in Portland. Then he went to Texas, moved through a couple of territories, went to Arkansas, had Little Rock, and then ultimately made a career change and went into insurance. And as kind of a fast follow, was like, hey, you know what? Furniture's in my blood. And so that was about the time where I was, hey, I've got this opportunity. Yeah. Let's link up and do this together.
Yeah, and a little sidebar on Chuck Spang, who was the first president of Ashley Furniture Home Stores.
Yeah.
He and his wife built a house in Morganton.
That's right.
North Carolina.
That's right. I was recently traveling with Chuck, and he showed me pictures. The house is beautiful. It's
I've not been to it.
I haven't been to it, but he showed me some images, and I would say we both need to go see Chuck for some burgers.
That's right. I think he's on Lake James.
Yeah, I don't. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing the pictures.
Okay, and so you got Hattiesburg, and you brought your brother in, and you guys started up your first store in Hattiesburg, Mississippi in 05.
Yeah.
You remember the month you opened?
Yeah, so we opened in 06, finally opened in 06. Had a 1-year-old, wife was pregnant with twins on bed rest. Perfect situation to start a business.
Yeah.
Working a lot.
Yeah.
So good though. Loved what we were doing. And so opened right before a little bit of the correction, right? 06. So, and then, we did that. We developed a DC. We added another store.
In Meridian.
In Meridian.
That was your second store.
Yeah. Okay. Then we acquired a smaller store in South Mississippi. Then we went to Georgia.
What town in South Mississippi?
Macomb.
So you had, I know all these towns.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
most people aren't as interested, but Charlie's like, naming towns.
That's right. That's right. So
there's a great burger and a convenience store in that town.
That's right. That's right. So Macomb, Hattiesburg, Meridian. So you had 3 stores in Mississippi, and you had that for how many years? 10 years or so?
Yeah, and so we went to Flowood, Greater Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay, so your 4th store was in Flowood.
Yeah,
great town.
Yeah, so and then we also went to Macon, Georgia, where we did Macon and Warner Robins. Had a DC there. Those we ended up selling to another operator that operates out of South Georgia. Does a great job, and so kind of kept Mississippi. At that point in time is when we, or I'd say maybe 3 years later, merged and sold controlling interest, and still to this day still have ownership in the stores in Mississippi.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
you also were college roommates and best friends or good friends with Chad Spencer.
Yeah,
and he and his dad Jim Spencer had and his brother Jeff Edgeworth had gotten into the Spencer Group stores, and ultimately you guys had that relationship there. Did he talk to you about getting into the Ashley business? Because wasn't he a couple years before you?
Yeah, so my mom was in furniture.
Okay.
So my parents got divorced when I was 3. My mom was in furniture, an interior designer, and so like furniture's been putting food on the table for as long as I can remember. And so she was part of a group that had kind of a high-end store, but they also had a distributorship. And so that was probably the first tease of like, hey, you might want to look at this as an industry. The second was, I remember being at Ole Miss, and for a home game, Jeff Edgeworth, Chad's older brother, came to town, and Jeff is just the epitome of style. Everything he does is, got to be a 10 out of 10, and love him to death. And so, but he shows up, and I'm like, I don't even know what that guy does, but I want some of that.
Yeah.
I mean, just loafers, popped collar, like everything on me. Like he just looked the part, driving a, Range Rover. And I'm like, whatever you're doing, I'm going to follow. And I remember shortly after there, Chad's like, well, this is what he does, and I think I'm going to do that. And I'm like, well, I need to pull on that thread a little bit.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of how that happened. But yes, I met Chad at an FCA camp when I was in high school, and just a brief encounter. It's a different time today. You meet somebody, and you're like, let's stay connected on social platforms, and you do. Back then, you met them, and maybe you got addresses. I'll mail you a letter, but we didn't do that. And then fast forward, we saw each other freshman year at Ole Miss, and kind of ran in the same circles. We ended up living together, and his wife, my wife, we did college. So together, and been really nice joy to kind of do life together since.
And he just had a milestone birthday. I think you guys had a big
trip.
Yeah,
so he just turned 50, and kind of in that season, everybody kind of in our little small group is turning 50, and Chad, fantastic guy, pleasure to work with him. So for so very long, and then as you noted here recently, a little transition and change where Chad stepped away from the business, and wish him well in all of his future endeavors, and miss him greatly. So appreciate who he is and what he did and really how he did it. So miss him for sure.
And what year did you sell the majority stake in your stores?
Yeah, so we sold controlling interest right at the turn of 19 and 20.
Okay.
So
right before
weeks
COVID.
Before COVID.
Okay.
Weeks
so
before
you sold
COVID.
Before COVID.
Yeah.
You were with DSG in different capacities.
Yep.
And what were you doing for DSG?
Yeah, so early on, we entered into I can't remember how long the employment agreement was, and the thought was, sometimes owners and entrepreneurs don't make good employees, more times than not, and so it was like, let's see how this works, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, and it did. It worked. testament to them and their leadership.
And high trust.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully a little testament to my ability to
work ethic.
Yeah.
And brains and smarts.
Yeah,
and
some of those
knowledge
things.
of the business.
But anyway, it worked out really well. And so it was kind of a it's really unique in the fact that it's all the same business, right? Like she is out there, she has a need, and we're a trusted the number one brand in the industry. And I like to kind of oversimplify it. They come to us having a need. I need a sofa. Well, guess what? We have sofas. Like,
right.
So let's connect the dots and then
at good price points and great values.
That's exactly right. We'll follow you home with said sofa and service you.
But what was your role at DSG for 3 or 4 years?
I moved around a pretty good bit. As a licensee and an owner operator, you become a little bit of a utility player. Like, I know a little about a lot. Right, and
like Tito you just met on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, moving around doing all kind of different things. Probably not as good as Tito. But,
well, Tito's really good.
I do love his attitude. He's a fantastic guy. But
2024 Memory Maker of the Year.
Yeah, he's got a skill set that I probably don't have. But in that, I kind of moved around. Like I ran consumer finance for us for a little while, and so got really, really comfortable with our relationships and how we leverage that as a secret sauce to grow, top line, average ticket, and manage margin. And then I moved into retail operations, kind of back counter, not store operations, but retail ops, and did that for a while. Set over our growth in real estate.
Okay.
We were 180 locations and had done a number of acquisitions.
That's a full-time job.
Yeah. We were operating in I think it was 11 states.
Wow.
At the time, and so and then moved in, and then ultimately kind of moved into our, we had an executive management team, and then we had a chief management team, and so sat on the CMT, if you will, and really just enjoyed my time. And we had, to your point, great. Great team, great healthy tension as we pursued whatever was the best for the business, and just really enjoyed what we did there, and so kind of bounced around.
So I'm going to get us to present day.
Please.
So then DSG completes the merger with AGR, and the enterprise stores and the DSG stores become one.
Yeah.
The red and yellow become orange.
Yeah.
And so you come along with that management team. That's late 2024. And you become EVP of real estate and retail store operations.
Yeah. So
at the beginning of 25.
Yeah. So like
for AGR.
Yeah. Well, right when that closed, like it was December the 9th, is when we had run a show for that announcement, if you will. It really marks a really nice time. Well, a lot's going on personally, a lot's going on obviously in our business, but in that my scope was real estate, retail ops, and then licensee operations. And we can speak to maybe why some of those things, but just maybe a little bit of a natural fit in my skill set, what my passions are, and just my personal core values of how I live my life. And so what was really great through that was, man, we jumped into a different animal. And what I really loved is in my new role was my proximity to Todd Wanek. And I've known Todd probably since 2005, 2006, but in a unique relationship. Pretty, see him at market, have a one-off here, have an event in Jamaica, and you see him, but I wouldn't say we had a relationship. But in this endeavor, working with him, really got to know him, got to know his I'd say capacity. It's amazing. His work ethic, his passion for the business, his drive. And so that was really fun. That was a new thing that I hadn't seen, that I was grateful for. How he values the licensees and what they bring to the table and how he desires to serve them. And I went in with probably some preconceived notions from the seat I'd been sitting on for 20 plus years. And, some of those preconceived notions were wrong, and it was delightful to be tuned up and get a reset there, honestly. And so, but anyway, and through that, and then we've kind of transitioned. Some of those responsibilities have fallen off, and we've recently restructured, and it's a little bit of an exciting time of what we've got kind of. Really what we even launched this week, which is I know we want to talk about today too. So
it's a great backdrop, great background.
Yeah.
We do have a little bit of a different setup here. I was going to cover it in our
Can they
beginning.
see all this?
Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out. So
Yeah.
I just had a 28-hour trip to the Masters. We have a store in Augusta, Georgia. I have a nephew who loves golf, and I try to do something with one nephew on like a bucket list type of trip. So this is my brother's third son. He's 16, Callum. About to be 17.
Okay.
And I got the seed planted about a year ago that, hey, he'd love to go to the Masters if you can ever work that out. So got invited to go.
Uncle Charlie got it worked out.
Yeah. So Progressive Leasing was a great partner of ours.
So kind, yeah.
And extended a couple of invites. And I kind of threw him a curveball. I said, well, hey, can my nephew come? He's not in the business, and he's a minor, but he's a big kid. He's 6'3", 250, 240. He's a big kid. And so it took a little bit, and they approved it. They were very gracious to approve it because they knew how much he would love it. Yeah. So this was my second time at the Masters, but my first time to kind of get behind the scenes. So I just want to give like 60 seconds on this.
Yeah.
By the way, your ensemble looks great. You got this great.
I think it's important to note, like I showed up with this coat today, which, here or there, but the shirt underneath is compliments of Charlie Maloof here.
Well, only so people look at that logo. That's a Berkman's Place special logo. You can only buy Masters gear at the Masters Pro Shop or at Berkman's Place, and you can only get a special invite to Berkman's Place. Progressive let us
coveted merch.
So I've got a Berkman's Place logo right here on this vest, and I'm double dipping on Masters.
Take it off, Charlie.
I'm double dipping right here.
Masters,
look at it.
Green. Look at it.
So
let it breathe a little bit.
Yeah, let it breathe some.
It looks
also
great.
learned about, so we got these chairs. We got to sit on these Masters chairs.
Yeah.
There's no armrest. The reason there's no armrest on their chairs is because so you can squeeze more in to kind of watch the game. And then we got like the Masters Spectator Guide, which we had yesterday.
So talk about the gnome.
The gnome. So the gnome is a thing. I didn't even know about this gnome being a thing, but apparently you can only buy one per day. They run out. They sell out every day. One per person per day.
How many do they produce a year? Do you know?
I don't know, but like if you're walking around with this thing, and I think it's like $60, but people will offer you like hundreds of dollars for it. And I think you can go online and resell it. We're not going to resell this. We're not going to take it out. Actually, my son, I have two sons, and one of them took it, hid it in his room. And I had to go look and find it. So, and I've got Callum's I got to mail back to him. So the gnome is a thing. They also had a 10 miniature gnome collector's edition. There's also a small gnome, but that's the gnome. And
you said they've been doing this for about a decade.
I think a decade,
right?
but I'm not. Yeah. I got to get briefed up on the whole gnome deal.
I do too. I wasn't aware of it, but I think it's a pretty neat little thing.
The Masters doesn't even get paid by CBS for television rights, and they only have like 4 sponsors, and they're not hurting on money.
No,
I think they're doing $1 million an hour out of their pro shop or something, and that may be old data.
I recall the last time I was there, they had some rain, and so they actually suspended play.
So Bo, I just want to say this. So we got up. They said we're going to leave at 5:15 in the morning. We got to get there and wait in line. So the gates don't open until 7, and we're waiting. It was pretty cold, dark, and windy yesterday.
Yeah.
And we're waiting. So we're recording this on Thursday, April 9th.
Correct.
The first day of the Masters tournament.
Yeah.
This will be episode 355. But the gates, we went on Wednesday. The gates open at 7. But the reason you want to be there when the gates open is so that you can go be the first wave into the pro shop. Otherwise, it's like an hour and a half wait just to get into the pro shop.
Right.
And then you just got your haul and you go check your bags in or have them shipped back to you. I had a car that we had driven down there. So I picked him up from the airport and we drove down there. So,
well, for someone in retail, though, just to be in that shop, shoulder to shoulder, and just to take a step. I remember shopping, and I remember, hold on a second, take a step back and just watch. It is like a buying frenzy that I've literally never seen anywhere else. It's incredible.
And their service is impeccable. And people who want to like be into like hospitality or retail, they'll go do a season there. Like that pro shop's only open for a week a year. Yeah. And there's like $100 million or something.
And think about the throughput, right? The $1 million an hour.
It's crazy.
Like they're turning over that inventory like as quick as you're taking it off the shelf. They're refilling it.
Yeah. And so also I had this great experience. I'll just give a couple shout outs. We'll do our books at the end. We'll do our books at the end. So right now, our experience, the reason we've kind of had a lot more experiences than ever before, and really the last years, you're really involved with retail operations. You run all the AGR town hall calls. You've done that. Drew Maddox and you partnered on that some, but you're kind of the head guy who does that. You do a great job with it.
Thank you,
And so we've talked a lot about real estate. You've done presentations on real estate. You're big into retail ops. And then not just for the corporate stores, the 250 corporate stores,
That's right.
but now for all the North American stores.
Yep.
And you've got a team that kind of works with you, from Kevin Thompson, I guess, and his team. And so you got a great team. So our interactions have been a lot, hey, what's going on? Talk about your expansion. Talk about what your 7.0 build outs. And just kind of understanding how we operate. And you've kind of got that utility kind of view of, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've got 20 plus years. I've got a lot of experience. I've seen the good, bad, the ugly, and plus the 8.5 years before. So you've probably got 3 decades of retail furniture, manufacturing furniture experience.
Pretty close. That's right.
So, but the big exciting thing is Haley Steinfeld and Ashley Luxe and the big launch and Teddy Swims and the red clay strays and all the things and getting all of our stores set up. We just launched this week the brand new, totally exclusive to Ashley stores, the Ashley Luxe Collection. Talk to us, and you were in New York City for the big launch.
Yes.
Talk to us about it.
Yeah. So, man, what a milestone. Largest launch in Ashley's history. And, it goes back to where you look at world-class retail. Automobiles, like apparel, electronics, like when they launch products, they do it. And they do it in a big way. And I think we realized and noticed we just come out with products. And is there some style to it? Yes. Is the value proposition there? Always, right? But we just go to market. And we go to, we had Vegas, and we have High Point Market, and we go to market, but it's kind of the internal market, right? It's just our, customers, our licensees, our primaries are like, we're just pushing product out. And this was something to say, hey, we're going to go to market on a whole nother level. And we, partnered with some folks that I think could give us some presence in some demographics where we need some help.
Eager enthusiasts.
They spend almost $50 billion a year. They're younger. If there's something that we know about our brand and the industry is our consumer base is aging. And there's a point where they age out. And we desperately needed to circle back and get what I would just say more relevant, more authentic. And I think with eager enthusiasts and the younger demographic, man, they sniff out, fake it till you make it. Like they'll call the ball on you quick. And so we have to be very, very authentic. And Ashley Luxe is just that. And so we've been counting down for months to April the 7th, which was its official launch. I think I shared with you and some others. We had billboards, digital billboards in Times Square. I mean, it's just unprecedented. We would never do
really
that.
Cool.
Really cool.
And
so it's a lot of fun. And man, when you look at the socials, and I've got kind of daily recaps coming in, the number of shares, the number of likes, like the total impressions, it is through the roof, like nothing we've ever experienced. And we see it in our website traffic immediately, like spike through the roof. Store traffic, nice little spike. And so it's incredibly exciting time to see how we meet and make this first impression with the eager enthusiast and a new demographic and a new shopper that, quite frankly, it's incredibly important that we captivate her attention, that we give her inspiration, we serve her well, and she buys from us.
Well, it's so exciting. It's totally exclusive to the Ashley stores.
Say it a couple more times.
It's totally exclusive to the Ashley stores. And the launch, when we first got introduced to it, is like not even in the main Ashley showroom. It was a separate showroom procured in High Point. It was a special invitation and really showing an evolution of the brand. And Ashley can always make, engineer, design, deliver fantastic values, core characteristic of Ashley furniture.
For sure.
But it was like, it was saying, hey, we are looking at what the luxury brands are doing, and we think we can do this at the same quality level and looks and inspiration, but at that legendary Ashley value. And so it's a whole new kind of platform for us and a jumping off point to go compete in waters that we've not competed with before, but where folks are like, oh, now Ashley has it. So it's a reinvention of the brand.
It is.
Reinvention of, the only constant is change in retail. You always have to refresh and bring your stores up. And as we've really elevated the product line and the store design and the logo and the appearance of our stores, it's taking it to the next level, but not forgetting what our core DNA has been all along.
That's right.
Yeah.
So. When you think about the elements that we want to be famous for, those core tenets, it's style, it's value, it's purpose. Mm-hmm. And we do all those things really, really well. But it's an opportunity for us to refine it, to strengthen it, to double down on it. And then some of these things that we do well, we don't story tell them well. We've done purpose well for decades. I just don't know that we take our light, like we put our light under a bowl, if you will. Like we don't put it on the top of the mountain. And so we want to just be a little bit more intentional about leveraging what we do well, who we are, and kind of getting credit for it. And this sets up perfectly. It's just such an exciting time, and it's such a need we have, and it's something that we can do so very well, and our right to win, I mean, it's just a laundry list of what our right to win will be in this space.
Well, I don't think we're doing storytelling in a little way. We're doing it in a big way.
We are. Yeah, right.
So you underplayed it intentionally.
Yeah.
But I'll pump it up a little bit. We did it in a big way. Times Square, taking over socials, taking over social media, getting really well-known celebs who we can borrow from their authority and partner with them on their authority. To really help us not just have the steak, but sell the sizzle with the brand. And so it's super exciting. We're going all in our stores, excited to have the product flowing through and have something really more exciting to introduce new customers and some of our returning customers who are looking to kind of upgrade and upfit their homes.
A couple of additional points. You talked about, Todd would do a fantastic job benchmarking the brand's history and what they refer to as rebirths. And they've got them numbered.
14 is one of the counts, maybe up to 16 now.
Yeah, and can tell you just every opportunity where there was resistance in the marketplace, something was disrupting, and they were forced and made the choice. It's to rebirth. It's what makes Ashley so great is their blended strategy, right? And so I believe that's what this represents. It's a rebirth with a brand that hits a niche that we've needed to do better. And we've done some things that we haven't done in the past. And there's, storytelling is so important. You talked about, like, even in this platform and what you're doing with this and telling your stories is fantastic. We've always had stories, but getting credit for them and telling them well and telling them in a bigger platform on a bigger stage, that's what we're doing with Ashley Luxe. And when you see the product, the quality of it, what has gone into it from the Ashley furniture industry side, on the engineering, the depth of the finishes and the veneers, all those pieces.
We'll show some of like the Bracken, the Neo, the Madero.
Yeah, the Calden, the Whitehaven, all of them.
Yeah, Calden, Whitehaven. I don't have all the names memorized. I probably should, but it's
you will soon.
I will. It's a sub brand within the brand. It's the perfect name, Ashley Luxe.
Yeah,
because it takes the Ashley DNA and takes that Luxe kind of handle and combines them together. It's like peanut butter.
Beautiful vision.
It's like peanut butter and jelly.
Simple yet elegant.
That's right.
Right.
I don't know. I wasn't planning to call it peanut butter and jelly.
I don't know that peanut butter and jelly is elegant, but I was raised on them.
I was too. That just came out. Bo, thank you. So I can tell you're really in your sweet spot now with what you're doing today.
Oh, thank you.
I'm grateful that you're leading the charge. You're a road warrior. You're all over the country at all times.
Yeah.
You're a very hard worker, and you got a great, easy way about you relationally with people. So you're fun to work with.
Yeah, good.
And so you're added value for licensees and for Todd Wanick and for Ashley Global Retail.
Good. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. Now we're gonna go get some grub. We'll do two last things to kind of sign off here.
Before we sign off. I'm sorry to interrupt you. This is your podcast.
You got it. This is your podcast.
I do want to take a moment and just kind of express some gratitude to you. Like, as I shared with how I started my career servicing a number of different retailers and seeing who does what well, it served me well in getting into the business. And I kind of continue to do that today, right? As I travel and I meet we have 118 licensees today. Do I see them every day and every week and stay in constant communication with them? No, but I do get a unique position to see who does what well. And I just want to applaud you, Manny, your team. You guys do it's such a pleasure to be with you.
Well, thank you so much.
It's such a
Very
pleasure to
kind.
be with your people. You're an organization that is really easy to cheer for and easy to celebrate because it's not about your results and it's not about your performance, although they're fantastic. You do a great job on your metrics and how you run the business. But for me, I would say it's how you do it and your unique. The purpose elements in it, and I just want to applaud you and your entire team. It's so very real. It's very tangible. It's felt. You can smell it. You can taste it. Broad River does it different, and I hope you know that. And man, just give a high five to anybody I see today as we go and see 4 or 5 stores, maybe another DC. And so you do well. You do a great job. And your passion, not only yours, but the culture that you've created, your team. You're so very kind to invite me to your last 2 years celebration events, the galas. I mean, and I'll just tell you, I have proximity to see how a lot of different organizations do this, and you guys just do a great job. And so from the bottom of my heart, just couldn't be more proud of you. All of that sounds a little odd, but for you.
I understand.
And big fan of you, big fan of your team and Manny and Broad River, and looking forward to not only today, but all the todays we have in front of us. It's going to be a good run.
I love it. Well said. Well, I'm humbled by your words, and I truly appreciate it. I appreciate that our people get to hear your words because it's really important to them. And thank you for coming to our last 2 events. You came to our soiree. And took time to come to our soiree. You came to our gala. Which was really special. I think Kevin came with you.
Yes.
And Frank.
Yeah.
Frank was there. Yeah.
And next time we're committed to embracing the theme. I'll be in top hat, whatever. If it's a Western deal, I'm gonna have some boots on, some Spurs, whatever it is.
We got creative people. They come up with themes. We let them take it and run with it.
One of your strengths.
It'll be a good theme. What I want to say beyond that, I truly believe we have amazing people and amazing partners.
Yes.
Like we were on third base. Like we got, we stood on the shoulders of giants. Being able to collaborate with people like you, with Chad Spencer, with Gary Seals, with Mark Dufresne, and all those people, and Keith Koenig, and learn from all the great people in the industry. With Ashley, it's like starting, with a big lead off third base, right? And so it's because so many people have invested in us, and we got to stand on the shoulders of giants. To us, it's a responsibility to kind of pay it forward. And to kind of pay it back and steward that right. And when people call us, come see us. Come see us. If they say, come see how our ERP system works, come see us. How our DC works. Open kimono. Come see us. Ask us questions.
You guys are open for business, and you do steward it well.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
We're open for feedback because we got a lot of warts and a lot of things we can always get better at. And and also we had an NDE, a near-death experience. And anytime you have an NDE, what you appreciate more than anything moving forward is breath in your
I'm not
lungs.
familiar with that acronym, but I love it.
An
NDE.
Near-death experience. Ask the folks who were on Miracle on the Hudson when they came down. So it kind of gives you a new perspective of life, and so you don't get kind of numb to like all the things that we should be grateful for.
Right.
Breath in our lungs. And 2015 was a crucible moment in NDE for us. That whole 11-month journey, or 18-month, whatever you want to call it. But we came through it, and so we came through it for a reason, for a purpose that we believe in. What will we do with that second chance? And so that's kind of what it's about for us, and getting that motivation every single day. We like to say we'll grow as far as our people will take us. Or not. So have growth-minded people, invest in our people, and grow our people, and let them, and then get out of the way. Don't be the lid on our people. So get uncomfortable. If there's an opportunity in the Northwest, okay. If there's in the Northeast, okay. I mean, let's figure it out, see if we can do it. And I don't really love cold weather. I'm from Mississippi like you, but we'll figure it out. And it creates opportunity for our people who go just crush it and do a great job. And then we always got to learn. So last 2 things here.
Yes.
Book club. And then so I was at this 4 Others Leadership Summit with John Maxwell and Drew Brees. I got John Maxwell's newest book, autographed book by John. I use some of his questions a lot in my interviews, but how to get a return on failure. He says, keep success and failure close by. He goes through the whole thing, and then he talked about his new book that he's writing about the 1%ers and what they do differently and what that delta from 90 to 99% is and how that makes all the difference, and consistency over intensity and all the consistency compounds. But I got to take my son and 3 of our executives. I got to take Drew and take notes with him on the front row, and that's really impactful, and be with that whole experience at the Troubadour Golf Club in Nashville last week.
Did John lead with, my name's John Maxwell, and I want to be your friend.
He sure did.
Yeah, I love it.
By the way,
fantastic.
We saw him in the morning leaving the hotel, and he just locked in on my son Drew and said, "You're going to be so much further ahead of other 16-year-olds." He just poured into him. And then during his talk, Drew and I sat basically in the front row, the second row, but essentially no one was in the front. He would just lock eyes with Drew and like stop everyone else, say, "Hey, let me tell you what helped me growing up." And he gave him like the ACT acronym, and to go through all your notes and put A's next to the ones you want to apply, and put C's next to the ones you want to change, and then put T's the ones you're going to go and teach out. So he gave him the ACT, but he would just lock in, and then he'd come see me afterwards, he said to Drew, and we'd go spend some time with him. He just poured into him, and just so special.
So at Ashley Domination, he spoke, this last Ashley Domination, which was fantastic. And maybe similar to Drew's experience, he locked in on me, and it was about Krispy Kremes, which is kind of fitting here in the Carolinas. Krispy Kreme was birthed out of North Carolina. But anyway, something in his talk, I don't remember the exact details, but he was like, a good Krispy Kreme donut. Has anybody had one? And I was on the front row. And he's so like, funny. We know Bo Pennebaker, this guy here, he's a Krispy. And he doubled back on it maybe 3 more times over the life of the event, which was fun.
He's so good.
So good.
All right, 2 more books. John Acuff just released this month, Procrastination Proof. He's come to the river and spoken to us before as a keynote speaker at Purpose 828, the Pioneering the Path, the Purpose 828 experience. And so that's his latest book. He sent Edie and I special copies of that, Procrastination Proof. And then you've got one from Will Gadara.
I do.
Unreasonable Hospitality. I just listened to his podcast episode on the Learning Leader Show with Ryan Hawk, and that we got to see him at World Business Forum a couple years ago, and then started engaging with his book, and now Will Luke and his team just launched Project Magic in retail operations. The whole thing is about bringing more magic and awesomeness into the world of hospitality, the world of retail, the world of business,
giving people more than they expect.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
And
exceeding the expectations.
So that's our book club, and then last thing, we freed 6. Trinidad's coming back for a year. The NCAA tried to block it. We're both Ole Miss football fans.
We are.
We were both at the Fiesta Bowl.
We were.
You were also at the Sugar Bowl, I think.
I was.
Yeah.
I was.
So a great playoff run.
Yeah.
Any predictions? What are you looking forward to for Ole Miss football in the Grove? I know you got a place in Oxford.
I don't know if we have enough time here, but I've got two children that are attending Ole Miss currently. I have a sophomore and a freshman, Cave and Alice Pennebaker.
Are those your twins?
No. So Alice has a twin brother, Knox. He's at Liberty University up in Lynchburg.
That will close with Liberty.
Yes, that's right. And but with that, so we have two children at Ole Miss, and then Catherine and I, as we talked about earlier, met and both went to Ole Miss. So we're huge Ole Miss fans, and so we try to make every game one to see our children, but we love to go to the games. This past year, I believe, for as long as I've been alive, was the most fun and most exciting Ole Miss football season ever.
It almost wasn't.
It almost wasn't.
That's exactly right. At the very end.
And it was
with all the turmoil.
You talk about NDEs and drama and those things do give you a more grateful heart, right? It's all about perspective. Like mountaintops aren't mountaintops without valleys.
That's right.
And listen, as Rebel fans, we've had lots of valleys.
That's right.
Like somebody was asking me the other day, like, when I graduated, we were on probation. Our coach left us with like 3 games to go. Like it was a different season. But what am I most looking forward to? Here's what I'll try to give it maybe in like 4 or 5. One is I'm looking forward to being on campus. An Ole Miss home game is special.
Yeah, the Bowl.
The Grove.
Yeah.
The
Bowl area, the Grove.
Being from Mississippi, it's such a small place. Like every game's like a family reunion, like a high school, college reunion. I see people I haven't seen in forever. So I'm just looking forward to being there. Looking forward to seeing my kids. That's a nice alternative benefit, although they're pretty busy. But I'm like, hey, I'll pay for dinner. Let's go. I'm looking forward to September the 19th, where LSU and our previous coach will come to Oxford. My hope and prayer is that it's college game day, that it's a 7 p.m. kick, and that we win.
Yeah.
But it's going to be probably
Crazy.
the most electric environment, and I hope we measure up to the moment. And you know, like wherever the chips fall, like let's just not fold. Let's play well, and you know, it's a game. Like the chips will fall where they may. But I'm really very bullish on the year. I think we have 2 Heisman candidates. Anyway, I won't get into it.
Yeah.
My heart, I start talking more from the heart than an objective analytical perspective. But I think it could be. We've got some question marks. Like we got some people to replace, and we did kind of an overhaul on defense.
Well, it's hard to beat an 11-1 year in a semifinal college playoff season. So
yeah, I mean, you know,
we've never done it before.
We were up with 3 minutes to go in the Fiesta Bowl with a chance to, and I remember like in the elation in that moment, thinking, did we score too fast? Yeah. And we did. But anyway, it'll be a fun year. I'm looking forward.
As
to
an
it.
Ole Miss fan, hope springs eternal.
Yeah.
And there's always next year.
Yeah,
but we're really hoping that we've changed the narrative and the Rebels keep rolling. And
yeah, there's a lot of talk is Ole Miss a blue blood of college football. I don't know if we are, but I'm along for the ride. And it's been a fun run, and I hope we're up to the challenge. But to your point, great expectations and our hope for what we could do next year.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I was at the Arkansas game. We did the RV weekend.
Yes,
and
it was
then
so good.
And then I went to the Tulane playoff game.
Yeah.
And I saw you because we were leaving the restaurant while you and I saw your uncle.
Yes, my uncle.
Uncle
that's
and
right.
your son.
Yeah,
Knox.
That's right. Yeah.
And so you're going to see. You stopped here because you're going up to Lynchburg for the convocation at Liberty.
Yeah. So they've got an event.
Tomorrow.
Liberty. They do twice a week convocations, which are just fantastic events. Every student goes. And we've got a group, guy that does the Bible Caddy podcast, William Kane, in partnership with Webb Simpson, North Carolina resident, and then Ben Crane, who Ben is a fantastic individual. He's an accountability partner for me, and we do daily reading plans together. And so he's just a fantastic guy. And have met William and Webb a little bit, and so just listen and follow their podcast and those guys. So looking forward to seeing that, and going to be a great event.
Awesome! I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
You hungry?
Let's go eat.
Let's go eat.
I do that well. We both do that. I remember, Charlie. One of our first kind of connections would be at Las Vegas Market, and maybe lunch was provided, and there was 400 people trying to eat at one time. We would sneak downstairs, shoot across the street to a Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory, you have to do it.
Yeah.
About 120 degrees.
Yeah, and we would eat faster than they could upstairs, and we would do that from time to time. Good memory.
Thanks, Bo. Thanks for coming. We're gonna grab something to eat. Thank you guys for checking out the Bo Pennebaker episode here on Stories from the River. You can catch us every Tuesday with a fresh new episode. Wherever you get your pods, whether it's YouTube, Apple, or Spotify, or now LinkedIn. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Phil.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. To watch this episode, go to youtube.com/@storiesfromtheriver. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.